There's a tirade I'm feeling right now because now that I'm looking at dwarves, can we talk about something real quick? This is such a tangent. This is such a nonsense tangent. But can we talk about it? Magic, like as a concept in fantasy settings, is really, really stupid. I realized that when I was thinking to myself why I actually don't like elves. Like, elves are stinky, and I didn't know why, but I think I know why now. I don't hate all kinds of magic. Magic can be fun if you do it right. Like, I'm a big fan of magic that has a cost or a risk when you use it. Like, when you think of, like, magic, think of, like, warlocks in, like, fucking Warcraft. In Warcraft, warlocks cast magic, but, like, always at the detriment of their own well-being and putting themselves in danger. It is very risky, but high reward. Meanwhile, mages in Warcraft just kind of cast shit with minimal to no ramifications, and mages are just always strong. And then it's like, that's the case in like all settings. I don't mind the idea of magic, necessarily, if the magic has a risk or has material cost. For example, I like alchemy. Alchemy's cool. The idea that you're taking materials in with either like equivalent exchange or like weird minerals, you're making potions, and it's awesome. And then you go to like, you know, like I said with warlocks, you take a deal with a demon to gain power at the cost that it's probably going to come back to bite you in the ass later. My personal favorite, if you want an idea of like magic that is good to me, is like Warhammer 40k Psychers. Warhammer 40k Psychers are perfect in how they handle magic, because in order for you to cast magic in 40k, you have to put yourself in danger at all times by going and tampering with a dimension that wants to drive you mad. And it is objectively a far better magic concept. Do you like the Eldar in that case? Yeah, and the Eldar is the only instance of elves I like because their own tomfoolery gets them in trouble. And orc magic has a risk too because they're not allowed to be smart. That's their cost. They're not allowed to be smart. If orcs become smart, their magic becomes worse. In my opinion, one of the best magic systems I've seen in media is when magic physically weakens the person if they use too much magic. I'm not against that. That's fine. That's very... I'm not going to say that's like the worst take in the world because that's not. It's definitely okay. I can tolerate that. Which brings me into my next thing for magic and why I don't like elves is because elves in most settings are just innately given god power. For no reason. It's like... My elven tree god has decided that I get to cast magic for free and it's always enough to like drop a meteor the size of the state of Texas on some area. Why? Why? What part of that is interesting? What part of that is interesting to me? The answer is it's not. It hasn't been, and it won't be. It's garbage. It's actually garbage. Like elves are oh great, loudest car in the face of the earth. Brr, is your catalytic converter missing? Damn. Anyways, the thing about, like, elves that I don't like is that they made the worst parts of humanity immortal. It's just... it's so annoying. Because their whole thing is, I have been given immortality and superpowers, and now I'm great at everything. They didn't work for it. They just got handed, like, wacky fantasy Jesus powers. It's stinky. And also, when we think about it, let's keep talking about elves. You know what? Forget this being the magic rant. This is the infamous dwarves versus elves rant. We're on that now. I cannot stress enough how absolutely dog shit elves are in every setting. Unlike the concept that they cause so many problems by just being an elf. Like, okay, tell me I'm wrong. Name one setting where the elves weren't the main problem or a major contributor to the world being shit. One that people watch or play. There's probably a niche one, but the popular ones always have the shittiest elves. Like, here, let me run through the list of ones that I know of and how they were a problem. World of Warcraft is a fantastic example because you have Illidan, Sylvanas, and even though she's technically not like an elf more than she is just taking over a body, Zaltath, that's a fucking elf. What else did elves do? Oh, the Sunwell. The entirety of the Sunwell. Everything to do with the Sunwell being a major conflict piece in numerous stories. Okay, well, how about we go to Skyrim? Oh, look at that, the elves are the antagonist again. Oh, let's go to the Lord of the Rings. Wow, wouldn't you believe it? They made the Ring of Power. They caused the Lord of the Rings. That's crazy. How can you like elves? They're pretentious dickwads with immortality. And then they break stuff. And then they go off acting like they didn't do anything wrong. The Witcher has good elves? No, I don't care. I don't care. I've read so many settings where the elves are just stinky. And even when you play the Magic the Gathering card game, I don't like elves there either because they're always so damn strong. Elves stink. They stink. You wanna know why dwarves are awesome? They weren't just gifted random god powers. They make burly ass people. Dwarves have like a lot of brother code, you know, they're very like all about that honor through like their like history. They're all about focusing on a craft, doing it really well. They don't have wacky dwarf Jesus powers or a tree they praise to that magically gives them power. No, if they want something dead, they have to go make the weapon, and then they like, oh, you have magic, that's cool. Here's this trebuchet that slays God, and we made that with just dwarven engineering. And elves are dumb because they get a handout. Dwarves have to work for that shit. The elves that I like are anime elves. Oh, don't you get me fucking started on anime elves. Let me paint you a picture. Anime elves are almost always a two-dimensional character with no development. And then you want to know where elves ruin something for anime? Sword Art Online, the fourth and second arc. The fourth and second arc of Sword Art Online is entirely elves and the worst parts of the whole series. Even when they're not even when the whole cast is elves is still stinky. Sword Art Online is rubbish in of itself. The first season was cool until they decided to go ahead and scrap the whole concept by just bringing a plot twist out of nowhere to end that entire arc. And I didn't hate the gun one too much, but the second and fourth arc is so fucking shit. Oh man, I don't even hate elves on like a design level. Let's be fair to the elves. Elves are pretty, and that's all I have nice to say about them. 40k Eldar elves are the best part of dwarves. So I don't hate elves in 40k for a very simple reason. Elves in 40k actually faced ramifications for their bullshit in a significant enough way for it to matter. Because the elves in 40k make sense. They're immortal beings with the same sort of hubris shit that they're based on from like the worst parts of humanity. They get the worst parts of humanity immortality, that's the point. Elves, in their immortality, started to kind of lose themselves and go insane in 40k. Like they started to kind of go a little bit mad, and they would do like very abstract art, very weird music that no one could really understand, and then sometimes cannibalism, because they got that desperate for a new sensation. And because of that desperation of trying to experience new things instead of appreciating what was already there, they made a chaos god. And that proceeded to wipe most of them out, and now they're split between the people trying to repopulate and trying to make their society survive, and the people in like the webway who have gone way more further into the deep end just to stave off Slanesh enough to like live. I think the concept of elves goes one of two ways. Basically, angels walking on Earth or eldritch creations that are the figure in darkness, like in Vermintide. Yes! But no, anytime someone says their favorite fantasy race is elves, I stare at them with concern for their health and well-being when they say elves are their favorite fantasy race. And I know this is really funny because by technicality I just sat here and ranted about a race for a while, which out of context probably sounds a little fucked. But at the same time, it's what fantasy's about. So like, I just want to say elves are stinky. Dwarves, orcs, goblins, the undead, and gnomes of all things I have more tolerance for. Like, no, I would rather have a gnome than an elf in my local vicinity. Because at least a gnome can tell me about cool engineering shit. An elf will just talk about how cool they are, and I want to beam them with my can of Baja Blast. My favorite fantasy race is women. For legal reasons, this is a joke. No, women aren't real. You're right. You're right. It's all right. Wait, there are no such thing. No such thing. They're gone. Vanished. Gone with the wind. I can't recall the last time I've seen a woman. I've only ever seen me. There's no women in my house, so surely they aren't real. A gnome will call me a slur, and I'll love it, and an elf will call me a slur, and I will not appreciate it. Thanks, Bard. Why did you say that? Man, I just went on a tirade about elves. We're 30 minutes into the stream. How much of the stream is me just absolutely yelling at elves? I can keep going. I will go as far to say that I'm probably the #1 elf hater in the world. There's ways you can write elves where they're interesting, where they have like their ego kind of backfire, or they have like moments of like just genuine kindness and humanity in them. I think Legolas from Lord of the Rings is probably a good example of that, where like, yeah, he's an elf and he's got his elfy shtick, but he becomes genuine friends with Gimli and stuff like that. It all becomes like a really cool grand old time. But like most of the time, elves are so pretentious that I just kind of want to punch them in the fucking face. Like in Minecraft. I don't think I have any more energy in me to like keep yelling about elves. Just know, elves have never been written in a way that I've liked them, and the only time I've ever liked elves being written is when a chaos god manifested from their actions and killed most of them, and then they became cooler because of that. I really have been talking about elves this whole time. I have not talked about the game once. It's good. Like, this game's really good. I'm having a good time with it. It's very much a survivor game. I want to know what the gear system does, so I'm trying to like get to that, because that has my interest. Because it's like I loot gear after the end of missions, and I get to put it on. This might be my favorite survivor game in this, like, in the genre. The elf rant would be a funny video. Carmia, you missed the tirade at the beginning of the stream. I got really fucking mad about elves for a concerning amount of time. It was like 15 minutes of anti-elf speech. That is so funny to call it that. 15 minutes of anti-elf speech is such a based-ass description of what happened. Elf racism is a psyop to make us forget about clankers. I can't forget about them. They're the reason why my metrics are fucked right now. Oh shit! Ow! Ah! Ah! My sweet dwarven butt! My sweet dwarven ass! Go away! I've been a good lad! I don't need this shit! Why are you spawning? Yeah, I'll go and take that. Ah! Someone in my chat just fucking said, why is Shea Frillis Productions after you? I don't know! I said Moana was a bad movie, and now it's Jover. Coming for my lunch money. Pokemon is considering making a game targeted towards 18+ audiences, and it's meant for a dating No. That's bullshit. That's not real. You're telling misinformation. There's no way the Pokemon Company, of all things, is considering a Pokemon dating sim for 18+. If that is true, another rant's coming on. Oh, that better not be true. You better be bullshitting right now. I call nonsense. Unironically, I think Pocket Pair is actually making a dating gaming for Palworld, which looks pretty. What do you mean? What do you mean? No. You got me with the Pokemon one earlier. I'm not buying that Palworld's getting a dating sim. It's on Steam. It's on Steam. Hold on, chat. Hold on. No way. This is legit. No. No shot. No shot. This is real. Whoa! What do you mean? No! What? What the? Okay. Ah! I think that's enough for the internet for today. You know what? And I think it's enough. I think it's enough for the internet for today. That's enough. No, not allowed. I refuse this reality. This is filthy. Don't say wood in chat. No. I'm taking you out back. You're being old yellered. None of the pals are even good looking. You're out of your fucking mind.